Hi, welcome to Pop's Grill and Q. Today we're going to do ribs. Now I did a short on ribs to kind of show you how to cut up a full rack of ribs and make them St. Louis cut, but I'll show it to you again. Remember, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and once again, thumbs up, give me a like button. So here we are, here's some ribs right here, full rack of ribs. What you want to do is basically take your knife and score right down the center of these ribs. What you normally do is you take the longest bone that you have and cut, starting with the longest bone, and cut the center of it and just follow it all the way through. It'll come straight out. And these are going to be your rib tips. And you can cook this too. You know, be a nice little snack. And then the membrane right here, what I normally just take a spoon and I'll lift up that membrane a little bit. And what you do is just take a napkin and you peel that membrane right off. And if there's any left over, you can kind of just take your hands and just take your napkin and peel the rest of that off. Now, if you don't want to take the membrane off, some people, what they do, they'll take their knife and they'll score it. I mean, there's no right way or wrong way. A lot of people do it this way. So you can do it both ways. Take the membrane off, score it a little bit, get your seasoning inside of there. Then you take your ribs. You want to trim it down a little bit. So I usually take maybe, look for the bone here, and trim this first section off. Put that to the side. We'll cook that. And then this you want to cut a little bit because this will burn on you. So what you want to do is maybe get to this bone here. Take that off. And we'll cook this as well. And there you go. You got yourself a set of ribs right here. Now if you got any fat in here that you want to trim off, you can go ahead and do so. Like this little portion here and this little portion here. But it's not necessary. You just want to clean it up a little bit, good presentation. And if you look over here to my right, you'll see where I already got some ribs that I did. And I've already basically put some mustard on here as well as my barbecue seasoning, and I'll show you how I did that. So here's my ribs. And some people use oil. You can use Worcestershire sauce, but most people use a mustard. And what they do is they take the back of this rib, and you're not going to taste the mustard. It's just a binder for your seasoning. So you rub it all in here, and then you take your barbecue seasoning and you add that to the back of this. And you pat it. You want to pat this into your meat. You don't want to rub it, you just want to pat it. Then you turn it over and you do the same thing. Like I said, you can use mustard, you can use Worcestershire sauce, you can use oil. I've seen some people use liquid smoke if they're doing this in an oven. So you spread your mustard on here, and you take your barbecue seasoning, and you just apply it. And once again, you pat it down. And once you've done this, you want these ribs kind of just sit a little bit and sweat. Get that seasoning into your meat, and then we'll put this on the rack here. Let that sit for a few minutes, and the next time you'll see me, I'll be out by the pit, and we'll go ahead and put it on the pit. I'm going to try to get the temperatures on these ribs to about a 175, and then we'll wrap them. It's called the Texas Cheat. And we'll add a little apple juice, maybe a little butter to it, maybe a little apple cider vinegar to it. And we'll wrap it and then put it back into the pit, cook that as well. Take them out, sauce them up, put them back on the pit, get a nice cure on it, but we'll show you that once we come back. So we'll see you in about an hour or so. See you soon. Okay, we're on the pit now. As you can see, my ribs are on there along with my tips as well. We're going to try to get this grill to about 275. And what we're going to do is try to get this these ribs, when they start to get a little bit tacky, where when you touch it, the season doesn't come off. And then we'll go ahead and wrap it. Here we're on an offset grill. I've got some hickory wood. And all we're going to do is close this and smoke it. And we'll be back probably in about an hour or so. We're going to spritz it with some apple juice and apple cider vinegar, along with some cayenne pepper. So, it's going to take 4 or 5 hours to go ahead and get these ribs done, but they'll be delicious when we're done. See you in a little bit. Okay, we're looking at the ribs. They're nice, tacky to a point where I think we can pull them off. And the temperature is about 145, 150. So what I'll do is I'll pull these off, and we're going to take them inside. We're going to wrap them and put them back on a pit. Get it to about 205, and they'll be ready to eat. So right now the temperature is about 145 on each one of these ribs. These are the ribettes I have over here. It's already under some aluminum foil. So I'm going to take these off. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now we've had these ribs on the smoker. They're about 145 to 150 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap them. So what we've done so far is we trimmed our ribs. We kind of put barbecue sauce on, not barbecue sauce, but our barbecue rub, on the front and the back. And we're gonna do now to tenderize it a little bit. We're gonna take each one of these and put it in a double foiled container to really kind of give it some steam. But what I'm going to do first of all, before I do that, I'm going to take some of this barbecue sauce, and I got a sweet barbecue sauce along with some vinegar sauce. It's got a little apple juice to it as well. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some butter and take my first rib, stick it on here. I'm going to do the same thing again. Take some butter. A little apple juice. A little bit of rub on here. And fold it. I've got two aluminum foils here, so the bones don't come through it. I might need a third. Let's see. I use one more sheet. I think I just put this long ways. That's the first one. Now we'll repeat the process. Give it some more foil. Take our rib, bone side up, add a little barbecue sauce. Tab of butter. Barbecue rub. Same thing on the other side. barbecue sauce. Tap of butter. Apple juice. All this. This one. Now we're ready to put it back on the pit. We'll put these two on the pit. We'll have to go to about 205, and then we're going to go ahead and sauce it. Put it back on the pit just to kind of give it a nice shiny glaze to it. We'll be ready to eat. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, well, here's the final product. My ribs are around 200 degrees, 205, and as you can see, they're basically falling apart. The only thing we'll need to do really, if you want to, I'd have enough barbecue sauce on it now, but if you just want to add a little bit more barbecue sauce, you can. And there it is. Let's take a look at it. Fall off the bone. Clean as a whistle. Let's take a taste. I know it's going to be hot. Delicious. About a 5-hour cook, but it's worth it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the recipe. You can kind of tweak it any kind of way you want. Some people, you know, will cook it a little bit less, a little bit more. Some people like to go ahead and put it in the oven. I prefer to put it on a pit. Remember, if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, share, and please subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. There's more recipes coming in the future. Try to make things simple for anybody that can cook. Thanks for coming by theCUBE, and we'll see you soon.